Hello, I'm greeting everyone who is not indifferent to the fate of my country, Ukraine, and with every day passes and every new statement heard from the officials and semi-officials, the persons of the aggressor country, which unleashed a war with the Ukrainian nation, this applies more and more to the peaceful part of Europe as well. Proofs of the informational aggressive attacks on the countries that actively support us in the struggle for the future of our state are becoming more frequent, as you can see, while the citizens of many Western countries continue to follow the news. Neighboring Poland, which has taken the huge impact of Ukrainian refugees rescuing their children, is already testing regularly the city's siren, warning of alarm of an air attack. An alarm that Europeans who were born after the end of the Second World War could only hear in the movies played by actors with actors and heard from the stories of their own grandfathers. Against the backdrop of general anxiety and indignation at the uninterrupted targeted bombing and shelling of peaceful cities, with the complete destruction of infrastructure and the civilian population without exception, representatives of the politicians and businesses of other states still haven't said goodbye to the illusion about pacifists, Russian people, and the evil leader of the country of Russia and his closest surrounding. They do it consciously, they do it driven by fears or maybe counting the potential losses of their companies that are leaving the sanctioned Russian market. Time will show. I just would like to focus on your attention on the picture of today's Putin speech in front of a crowd of many thousands, approximately 300,000 people in Luzhniki, and in front of a crowd of many thousands of audience that were gathered at TV sets, rejoicing at the propaganda pictures of the war with Ukraine and to the threats to half of the planet. And this is a time when the bulk of the protests against the war are picking up just several hundred or dozens of a single pickets all over Russia, and the battle of the protesters in mainly for the seizure of branded stores or toilet paper and sugar, as it happens in smaller cities of Russia. I will not analyze as an employee of the media sphere and anchor of live broadcasts how the so-called broadcast today was mounted, edited, glued, drawn, or re-uploaded, but the speech of their helmsman that suddenly broke off at the very beginning, that in the conditions of global control in the mass media is able only in the case of science fiction, I'd say. And what happened again during the speech of the Maria Zakharova, Ministry of Foreign Affairs speaker.
А что же это за ценности такие, которые отстаивает ваша страна, ваша Россия?
It all the sign that the reason why it happened was hardly planned. But now I would like more to draw your attention to several loud statements and slogans that flew out either in reality or in a montage, but from the mouth of the main terrorist of the planet, Russian president, and that is illustrated several visual embodiments with simple examples from the words that he said. Perhaps what he said and is supported by specific results that are already documented for the Hague Tribunal for the future will help you to understand deeper what classics of the last century used to write. Russia cannot be understood with the mind. Now else, neither minds, nor common sense, nor souls can ever understand, certainly never forget what's going on. First, he said, the purpose of the operation in Ukraine is to save people from the genocide. Look. Then he mentioned the Russian soldiers that cover each other in Ukraine. And from his words, we have not had seen until for a long time. I'll demonstrate you.
In this situation, our nation is fascist.
Talking about Donbass, here's his quote. There is no greater love than if someone gives away his life for his friends. Let's look at it, this love. Afterwards, Maria Zakharova was trying to say about kind of values, which wasn't heard on air technically as well. Therefore, one has only to guess from the actions of the Russist bastards on our land. Watch this.
А что же это за ценности такие, которые отстаивает ваша страна, ваша Россия?
In the meantime, 300,000 in Luzhniki are particularly zigging to their Führer, and almost 70% more, according to statistics, silently support the special operation to exterminate the mythical neo-Nazis, read the Ukrainian nation, killing the children, elderly and women, raping them in front of their children, robbing the captured houses. At the same time, as I said in the beginning, some politicians and businessmen still have not parted from the illusions about the pacifist Russians and the evil leadership of the country of Russia. So when the corpse of thousands of Russian warriors either continue to decompose in the open air, because the spring is coming, or laying in the refrigerator cars, abandoned by their military leadership and their loved ones who have disowned them, as we can hear from the multitude of intercepted phone dialogues, who refuse to believe in the reality of war crimes committed by their sons and husbands who came to seek death in the Ukrainian land. Our people, with great pain and honor, meet their heroes who died defending our lives for 23 long days in a row. And as we can admit it, we'll continue until. We'll talk about this until next time, hopefully. Thank you for your time, and Slava Ukraini!